Welcome to Get Real with Eddie, the show that dives into local, regional, and national real estate, the largest creator of millionaires, and the key to building generational wealth. Hosted by Eddie Rudiger, designated managing broker of Exit Real Estate Specialists. Eddie is here to share expert insights and strategies to help you unlock the power of real estate. Now, let's grow in real estate with Eddie Rudiger.
And here we go. It's time to talk some real estate once again and just stay in the air conditioning and keep cool. I'm just saying.
I am in such heaven.
You are.
I am.
I am sure.
You know, my grandpa was a gecko, right?
Grandpa was a gecko. Nice.
Just saying.
It has been a little warm out lately. Just saying.
It has been. Even for me, it's been pretty hot.
Yeah.
Even for me.
Did you see the old clip from Good Morning Vietnam making its way around? Where he gets the weather report from somebody out in the field? Oh, it's making its way back.
Is it?
Yeah. Every time
I love that movie, but just love that movie.
That is such a great movie. And my wife was watching it, and of course, her next thing was, "What a loss! What
right?
A loss.
Just a terrible loss for humanity.
Seriously. All right, so Nancy sent me this article from Realtor Magazine Media.
I found several good articles the last couple of days.
Well, you only sent me this one.
Well, I sent you. I sent you links. I texted you links yesterday, like 3 of them.
Oh, I didn't see them. I was slammed yesterday. I was running around crazy. So the last 2 weeks. Yeah, it's been busy.
It's been busy.
So I picked up. I got 2 more. I got 1 more listing that's coming. That's going to go in. I got to get in the private network. We'll work on that later today. And I got another one I'm waiting to get some documents signed on. So
yeah,
a lot going on.
Yeah, new and 3 coming soon, and I'm.
So outdated tax rules are freezing the housing market. This is an article by Michael Ruber.
Okay.
So, and this is again.
Share with me for some reason. It's not sharing.
It's not sharing.
I'm just seeing me. That's scary enough.
Hold on.
You were sharing, and then all of a sudden it went away.
That's because the Zoom failed.
Oh.
All right. Well, we'll get to that in a second while I'm working on that aspect. So this article talks about the taxes, and you were just in D.C., and you were addressing this firsthand. And the first aspect of this is the fact that the tax burden, or the limits, are $250,000 for capital gains.
For capital gains, yes.
On a single individual, and $500,000 on a married couple.
Yes, which has been that way for decades.
Since '97, according to this article.
Yes.
So you're talking over 30 years of this going on. 30 years of this being where it's at. And it's really making an impact on the appreciation. So the hidden cost of appreciation, under current tax law, homeowners can exclude up to $250,000 in capital gains from a sale of a primary residence if they file single, or up to $500,000 for married couples filing jointly. These caps have remained unchanged since 1997. So,
and let's talk about the equity that's been gained in the last 5 years, let alone in the last 30. So people are going to get hit if they sell. So it's discouraging sales.
It's discouraging sales dramatically. And it's a huge issue. I mean, it is really a huge, huge issue when it comes to whatever's going on in the marketplace. So, with that being said, they're looking at getting these numbers extended out. Okay? Mm-hmm. So a capital gains cliff is coming for the middle class and we have the data to prove it, says Shannon McGann, NAR Executive Vice President and Chief Advocacy Officer, during the most recent episode of Advocacy Snoop podcast. According to the study, 34% of homeowners, that's 29 million, could already have enough equity in their home to exceed 250,000 cap, and over 10%, about 8 million, could have enough to surpass a $500,000 threshold. Those numbers are projected to climb rapidly. By 2030, more than 56% of homeowners could have equity exceeding 250,000.
Well, and you figure, so first of all, boomers.
Wait, there's more. Hold on a sec. Hold that thought. By 2035, it could rise to 70%, with nearly 38% over the 500,000 mark. You were saying boomers.
Yeah, and especially this affects boomers because they're the ones sitting on 80% equity, 90% equity, that kind of thing. So their ability to sell, I can't get into any of these meetings.
Yeah, I know.
It's
I'm working
invalid.
on it.
Okay.
I haven't even gotten. I'm working on it.
Oh, okay. So I just want to let you know because it keeps popping up.
Close it out completely.
All right. So anyway, so the figures, what is it, 35% of the market has over 50% equity, or total 100% equity. Another third has over 50% and roughly 30% under 50% equity. So it really locks especially seniors in because of the hit they're going to take on the taxes. So their ability to move, to sell, it will help them and help to break the logjam.
And I get it. This whole idea is that, okay, well, we didn't want the millionaires and the billionaires to be looking at making huge profits on multi-million-dollar houses. All right? So they set the threshold thinking, well, the median sales price in 97 was about $180,000. So you're looking at somebody buying $250,000 or $500,000 for a married couple, because let's be honest, single people usually aren't buying a $250,000, $300,000 house. Even if they are, they're not clearing $250,000 on the resale.
Right.
But you are now.
Yeah,
because
on the regular.
Because of the inflation aspect.
Yeah.
So these numbers need to get readjusted.
Yes. And when they are going to write the law, they're also writing into the law that it will be adjusted annually so we don't get into this position again.
And it should. So, because think about it. All right, if we had just a 0.02% from 1997, all right, so that's 10 years, that's 20% by 07, okay?
Yep.
And then do another 10 years, all right? So now you're at 40% by 17. Okay? Plus 0.02 for 18, 0.02 for 19, 0.02 for 20, and then what was the inflation rate? The inflation rate, what, hit 9% in 21?
Yeah. I want to say it was close to 9.
Okay.
If not 9, it was pretty close to 9.
We're going to say, we'll say 9 being conservative.
Yeah.
All right. 22, it was at least 6. Oh, I messed something up. 0.55. So it was at least 6 for 22. 23, I think it was probably 6 again. All right. And then 24, it moderated. Let's say it was 4. Or do you want to say 3 for 24?
3, because it was coming down.
Okay,
it was closer to 2.
And I don't think it got under 2 until
24.
Yeah, till the end. It didn't get.
Yeah, but it was under 3.
It was. I don't think it was under 3. I mean, but that's fine. We can use 3. We can use 3. So since 97, based on that quick math, that is a 70% increase in inflation. So if you were just to adjust the 250 for inflation, based on that number, the single qualification should be $425,000. It should be $425,000, and I think the number should be tied to the inflation rate. I don't think they should take a arbitrary number. It should be tied to whatever the Fed inflation rate is.
Okay, so I just did a little quick math. To check some of these numbers.
Yeah.
This is according to Investopedia.
Investopedia.
Annual inflation rate in the U.S. for the past 5 years. 2020, it was 1.2%.
Okay, yeah.
Makes sense. This increased to 4.7 in 2021.
Okay, so we were a little high. I think
we're a little high.
Yeah.
In 2022, it was 6.5.
Okay, we were, I think, right on.
A little high.
We said 6.
Did we? I thought we said 7.
No, I used 6. I used 6.
Okay. By the end of 2023, it had decreased to 3.4. And in 2024, it was 2.9.
Okay, so it was close. It was just under 3.
Yeah,
and
just under 3.
So we probably have that 1 year we used 9 and it was 6. So we have an extra 2% in there.
Yeah.
So if you take
4.7, so just roughly. So 5.
So if we took
6, 11 and a half.
We took 250.
15, 16, 17%.
So I'm looking at from 96. All right,
that was just the last 5 years. Yeah.
Yeah, I used 0.2% for the everything else because inflation was round or under, So with that, you're looking at adjusting for inflation from 97, 417,500. I mean, honestly, it needs to be fixed because it's not. Yeah. There's nothing going on there. Check your email, would you? You should have a link. See if that'll get you in.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, we really need to get this fixed properly so that people, again, it's another tool to help people get where they want to go and move.
Yeah. It's completely is another tool. And 20 states are projected to have 40% of their homeowners facing this penalty. And it's not designed to hit the middle class.
Yeah.
It was designed to address, big, huge mansion property, so they're not using real estate as a tax shelter. Okay?
Yeah. And guess what? They're using real estate as a tax shelter.
Not really. I mean, and there's other aspects to the law, but Oh, that's weird. That's because you came back in.
Oh.
Mute your computer.
I'm hitting here. Wow.
So,
okay.
Right now, the legislation proposed is to double the exclusions. So 500,000 and 1 million for married couples.
Mm-hmm.
And then they are looking to adjust caps to reflect future inflation, freeing up millions of homes by reducing tax decentivized to sell. Because that's what you're in right now. It's a decentive. There's no reason to sell when you're going to take that capital gains hit.
Exactly. So you're going to end up holding property that you might otherwise want to sell.
Yeah. And that's causing another aspect on this market to be so tight and so...
yeah. Not that it's going to be the cure-all, but again, it's one more tool in helping people to be able to move.
So why would you want to move this summer? Well, we got 3 reasons why you may want to buy a house this summer. Have more negotiation power for starters. All right? After several years of sellers having all the leverage, things are starting to shift. Check out this graph Redfin has, all right, where we're looking at buyers and sellers dynamic have shifted. There are 1,943,669 sellers in the market nationally, according to Redfin, versus 1,453,628 buyers. So based on that, it is definitely a buyer's market.
Yes.
When you're looking at this aspect. Problem is this is showing a buyer's market since 2024, and this is this goes by region. This does not go by national. I would not think that there's more sellers than buyers in our local market.
Not in our local market. Yeah, we're definitely still seller's market here. I feel it changing. I mean, I can see where times are a little bit longer instead of hours or a couple of days on market. You'll see those once in a while.
Yeah, it's a couple of weeks.
But now it's a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Which isn't a bad thing and nothing to panic about.
No.
It's actually normalizing.
Yes. So Lawrence Yoon, chief economist at the National Association of Realtors, explains, with housing inventory reaching 5-year highs, home buyers in nearly every region of the country are in a better position to negotiate more favorable terms. So that is one reason why you should start looking right now. Mm-hmm. So the second reason is not just beyond the negotiation aspect, you get more choices.
I actually took a buyer out the other day, and we had a real buyer's tour. We saw 5 properties. I can't even tell you the last time I took a buyer out, and in one day actually had 5 choices. I was shocked.
It is crazy, some cases, when you're just dropping everything to go look at one house.
Yep. And that's what it's been for a couple of years.
Jake Krimmel, the economist at Realtor.com, says, with more fresh inventory hitting the market, buyers have better opportunities to find a home that fits their needs. Well, what do you know?
How about that?
Last, you may see more flexibility on price. Price cuts are on the rise. Listings with price cuts May of each year. So looking at the month of May, we had this year 372,964 price cuts in the month of May. The last time we had that many price cuts was 2018.
A normal market, by the way.
377,000 roughly in 18, 373,000 in 17. 19 was, because we always go back to 19 as the last normal market, was 336,000. So it's a little more than 19.
Mm-hmm.
But 19, we were starting to get into this inventory shortage issue.
Yep.
And then when COVID hit, it wiped out, because normally you would see builders aggressively building and to offset that for the next year. Well, they didn't do anything. They kind of froze with COVID.
Yeah.
Some by choice, some because they had to, depending on what state they were in.
Speaking of builders, so one of the articles I sent over to you, look if I can pull it up, talking about how home starts are very low.
They are very low. I did see that. I have seen stuff about that. So, a recent article from The Street says, although sellers have the upper hand in the housing market over the past few years, houses are staying on the market for longer, shifting negotiation power back to home buyers. Now, keep in mind, that doesn't mean that you're going to be able to go in and just lowball them. That doesn't mean you're going to be able to lowball them after they just did a price reduction.
Right.
Because now that price reduction was to attract buyers back to the property.
Yep.
And you may be looking at a situation there.
Yeah, so don't think you can just go in and just do what you want, because it's still it's competitive still.
All right, you wanted to take a quick glance at Plainfield, Illinois.
Yeah.
All right, so we are still looking at May's numbers for Plainfield. The median sales price in May is $410,000, up 5.7%. The average is $435,624, up.
Hit resale for me, would you?
Up 3.2%. That was including everything. Okay, you want just resale.
Yep.
All right, so that makes the average now go up to 4.5% increase to $409,523, and the median sales price is $379,000, up 5.3% in Plainfield. Original list price on average is $446,978, up 8.6%, while the median sales price for Plainfield is $400,000, right on the money, up 6.1%. Your market time in Plainfield is 33 days on the average. That's up 26.9%, while the median is up to 15 days, and that's a 50% increase from May of last year. So that's kind of huge.
Yeah. And it's kind of like along with what we were just talking about, that now you're seeing things on the market a couple of weeks. It's still a brisk market, but we aren't seeing 2 days.
Month supply is 1.3 months at 44%. I think some of these numbers are going to go down for June. I really think we had a late start to our spring market for some reason. I don't understand why.
There was no real reason.
No.
But we did spit and chug to start. Now we're in spring market.
Yeah, it's been going nonstop, and I've talked to other agents, and they're busy. They're making traction. They're getting headways.
The photographers are busy, packed. It's harder to get in now, so it's not just us. It's yeah.
So it's definitely noticeable. It is definitely noticeable that the market is kind of just really kind of had a little bit of a delay. And it could have been the policies coming out of D.C. putting people on hold. Let's be honest. I think that would have been the reason why. You had these tariffs and the tariff talk in the spring, what's in the normal spring market, and that was hitting in April and all of this stuff. And I think people just took a pause and said, hey, I want to see how this plays out.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
They started seeing how it's playing out, and they're like, yeah, we're going to move. And now we're seeing it move. So closed sales for Plainfield, 1,123 for the month of May. That's up 4% from the year before. Showings to contract, on average, 15 showings. That is down 11.8%. While the median showings to contract, because that was the average, is 11. That's down 21.4%. So we're seeing, are showings really down though? Or is it the same amount of showings and we have more 20% increase in listings?
Or is it the same amount of showings, but people are getting the offers and shutting it down faster? That's the other thing that I see.
Well, no, because the market time is it has increased.
The market time?
Market time has increased. So,
okay.
Showings per listing while I'm there is 8.5.
But shows to contract.
So,
check shows to contract.
Hold on a second. Shows to contract?
Yeah.
Okay. So, shows to contract. Oh, it is getting shut down faster.
See, that's what I was...
So it's showings to contract.
Yeah.
So you are seeing a decreased showings to contract. So it is getting fast. They are going under contract faster. 11 showings, down 21%. And then 15 showings, down 11.8%. And therefore, your showings per listing is 8.5. Showings per listing, down 17.5%. So people are taking and getting those deals sewn up a little quicker, a little faster.
Yeah.
So you do need to be on the jump. You do need to be cranking out.
You still need to not take too much time to make a decision. You go in, you might talk about it a little bit, but now you've got to make your offers pretty quickly.
All right, let's take a quick break. When we get back after the break, I want to bring up the 5-year rule for home price perspective. Keep it here with Get Real with Eddie.
Are you a real estate agent ready to take your career to the next level? Tired of feeling like just another number in the office? It's time to join a brokerage that's invested in you. Exit Real Estate Specialist. At Exit, we don't just offer a desk, we offer growth, mentorship, and the tools you need to build lasting success. Led by Eddie Rudiger, designated managing broker, we focus on helping agents create generational wealth, not just close deals. Imagine having the support of cutting-edge technology, top-tier training, and a culture where your success is celebrated. Plus, with Exit's unique residual income opportunities, you're not just earning commissions, you're building your future. Ready to grow? Ready to thrive? Join Exit Real Estate Specialists today. Call Eddie Rudiger directly at 815-823-5478 or visit www.exitrealestatespecialist.com to learn more. Your future in real estate starts here.
Welcome to the Lions Club. Being a lion means knowing that kindness matters. We believe in changing the world by serving the needs of our local communities. More than 1.4 million lions around the world are responding to local and global challenges with kindness and care. Come volunteer with us. Your Lions journey starts here. The Crest Hill Lions Club invites you to reach out to your local Lions Club to learn about how you can be a part of a community and bringing passionate, kind-hearted people together to serve local needs. They build relationships that lead to opportunities. In short, when lions serve, life improves, and the community grows. Grow with us. The Crest Hill Lions Club would also like to thank our sponsors who help with our yearly events, such as the car show and picnic at St. Joe's Park, and those who attend and support our Easter egg hunts, Shanahan Bingo, and many more events. The Crest Hill Lions Club meets the first and third Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. For more information on being a lion, go to lionsclub.org to start your journey today. That's lionsclub.org.
It's Eddie Rudiger from Exit Real Estate Specialists.
And Get Real with Eddie. I want to bring to your attention the Herbert Trackman Planetarium at Joliet Junior College. My son loves this. They offer free shows on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. It's perfect for stargazers. The show provides excellent astronomical instruction and entertainment for no charge. That's right, it is free on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. The planetarium features a 30-foot diameter dome, a new OmniStar digital planetarium projector. During the shows, you can enjoy sky tours using the projector and PowerPoint presentations covering a wide range of astronomical topics. For more information, please visit jjc.edu/planetarium. And for you educators out there, they are open for field trip bookings. So go to jjc.edu/planetarium.
Thinking about selling your home? Don't just list it, leverage it with Eddie Rudiger, designated managing broker of Exit Real Estate Specialists. Eddie puts powerful marketing strategy behind every sale, featuring professional photography, detailed floor plans, immersive 3D virtual tours, and dynamic video walkthroughs that make your home stand out. With targeting online campaigns, social media exposure, and proven strategies, Eddie attracts serious buyers to get your home sold fast and for top dollar. Plus, you'll always be in the loop with clear, constant communication. Ready to sell with confidence? Call Eddie Rudiger at 815-823-5478. That's 815-823-5478. Or visit yourdwellings.com. Eddie Rudiger, Strategic Marketing. Stand out results. 815-823-5478. Or visit yourdwellings.com today.
Stocks may succeed, stocks may fail. Real estate is always there. It's Get Real with Eddie.
So this is new. I don't know if I've ever heard this. The 5-year rule for home price perspective. So headlines are saying home prices are starting to dip in some markets. And if you're beginning to second guess your plans based on what you're hearing in the media, here's what you need to know. It's true that a few metros are seeing a slight price drop, but don't let that overshadow the simple truth. Home values almost always go up over time. All right? Mm-hmm. While everyone remembers what happened around 2008, that is the exception, that is not the rule. So what is the 5-year rule? In real estate, you might hear talk about the 5-year rule. That's the idea that if you plan to own your home for at least 5 years, short-term dips in price usually don't hurt you that much. That's because home values almost always go up in the long run. Even if prices drops a bit for a year or two, they tend to bounce back. And that was the big thing with 2008. It didn't bounce back
right
that fast.
Right.
we did not hit the bottom of the market until 13, and then we still had to climb back out of some pretty...
It took 5 years. The 5-year rule took 5 years to
bounce
bottom
back.
out.
Yeah. So you had 4 years to get to the bottom, and then 4 years to get back to the top, because, we didn't see normal pricing until like 18, 19.
Yeah.
So Lance Lambert, co-founder of the Reese Club, states there's the 5-year rule of thumb in real estate, which suggests that most buyers can buffer themselves from mild short-term declines if they plan to own the property for at least that amount of time. 5 years.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be in the house 5 years, you should be golden.
Yep.
So...
And that's what I tell my clients. I've always, it's that 5 years. Are you short-term or long-term? Because you got to look at properties based on that, too.
I always look like if you're going to be there at least 3 years, you need to consider, renting or buying. If you're going to, you need to look at to see if it's an option. If you're going to be there 3 years.
Well, and doing improvements. So if you're purchasing and you plan on doing some big improvements, are you going to be there at least 5 years? More like 8 to 10, because then you're going to grow a ton of equity.
So.
Make that investment back.
Recent dips are often offset by 5-year gains. Prices and changed home values. So this is 2020, since 2020, a year over year, okay, dip versus the 5-year, okay? So Austin, Texas, in the 5-year, they had a 33.3% increase in value since 2020.
Yep.
They did have a year over year where they dropped 5.1%. Tampa, Florida went up 53.8%. They had a year where they dropped 5%. San Antonio, Texas went up 29.4%, had a 3.2%. All right, anything, Chicago's not even on the list.
No, because we didn't go up like 60%.
Well, not just that, we didn't have any dips. I don't remember having any dips. So this is from the Reese Club and Zillow.
Right, but I feel like the places that they're talking about, those are the places that gained equity super fast during COVID.
Yeah, we got Florida, Texas, Arizona. There is New Orleans is the only thing out of that, and Atlanta, Georgia. Everything else is Texas. Oh, there's Colorado. So Colorado had a 1.8% dip, but they had a 30.7% increase over the 5 years. So it's a good way to look at it. Over the past 5 years, home prices have risen a staggering 55%, according to the FHFA. So in the short term, a 2% dip is not that big of a deal.
No. It's nothing.
It's nothing. So, I mean, and do I see this being a continuing trend of 55% in 5 years?
No.
Because the nation's up 55%. No. What do I see it being? I think you're probably going to be up 15 to 20% in 5 years.
Yeah.
You might have a 2% dip in 1 year, but you're still going to be up 15 to 20% overall in 5 years. So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely a avenue to consider and look at when you're talking about long-term investment. If you're going in the preview of the property for more than 5 years, then you are okay to do so. If you're not going to be there, well, you should be there 2 years, because as of right now, the way the capital gains is, you have to be there 2 out of the last 5 years, living there as a primary residence, to not pay capital gains on the property.
Right.
So that is huge. I don't know. Other thoughts on that?
I think that, like I said, my biggest takeaway from all that is that the areas that really spiked during COVID, that 55%, 40%
well, those were
value.
Those were the towns. Illinois went up since 2020. That we went up 50.9%.
Well, okay. I shouldn't say 50%, like 60.
Yeah, Florida went up 67. California went up 40. We went up more than California in the last 5 years. California only went up 43.4.
Yes, because everybody was leaving California and going to Utah and Arizona and Texas.
Yeah, Arizona's up 63%. Montana and Idaho. Montana is up 65.4, and Idaho is up 64.4. That amazes me.
Yeah.
Because...
Well, that's where everybody went, because their homes were less expensive, and they got out and got some room.
Oh, that's the thing. There's nothing in those states. When you're talking, you're buying 10 acres is like buying a lot in Joliet. I mean, everything is just monstrous, wide open stuff.
Beautiful up there.
Oh, it's gorgeous, and I mean, and it depends. And a lot of it, you got the mountain ranges as in your backyard as your backdrop.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so it's drop dead gorgeous. Yeah. So, all right. I've got a new listing coming to market. It's 9107 South Hamilton in Chicago, Illinois. It is a spacious, beautiful, updated 5-bedroom, 3-bath with a finished basement located in Beverly neighborhood. It is charming, gorgeous, versatile. The home has been updated with tons of different aspects. Main bathrooms were both remodeled in 2021. Basement is remodeled in 2025. Kitchen's got freshly painted cabinets, completely redone in 2025. New appliances installed in 2024. Mudroom was completely remodeled. I mean, the driveway was completely redone and concreted. Landscaping's new as of 2018. New patio in the back, and that was done with the driveway in 2022. New doors. This thing is just amazing. So definitely want to check out 9107 Hamilton Avenue in Chicago, Illinois.
When is that coming to market?
I'm going to have it coming up this week. It comes live this week.
Oh, okay.
I got to work on it more later on today. I'm waiting, trying to get the pictures ordered. Again, the photographer's
busy. I know. I've been
shushling
around trying to get photographers for mine.
Yeah, so
yes.
I've got to get that. So
Rough.
I'm working on hopefully having it up Thursday or Friday.
Okay.
Is my goal. And so we're looking to get that done. It's got 2 furnaces. I think one furnace was redone in 2024. One water heater was redone in 2024. Or the water heater, I think there's only one water heater in that one. So, like I said, I got to get into it and get all my stuff done and crank that out. I'm hoping to do that today, if not tomorrow. Just waiting on the photographer to get back to me. Probably not going to happen today, let's be honest, but we'll see. So 9107 South Hamilton Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. $650,000 is the price on that. Fenced-in yard, by the way. There's a nice fenced-in yard in there.
I love Beverly.
So definitely a great property to take a look at. Yeah. All right, what do I want to talk about next? I think we should do that. Let's talk about why asking price matters more today than ever it did before.
Oh boy, it sure does.
Keep it here with Get Real with Eddie.
Are you a real estate agent ready to take your career to the next level? Tired of feeling like just another number in the office? It's time to join a brokerage that's invested in you. Exit Real Estate Specialist. At Exit, we don't just offer a desk, we offer growth, mentorship, and the tools you need to build lasting success. Led by Eddie Rudiger, designated managing broker, we focus on helping agents create generational wealth, not just close deals. Imagine having the support of cutting-edge technology, top-tier training, and a culture where your success is celebrated. Plus, with Exit's unique residual income opportunities, you're not just earning commissions, you're building your future. Ready to grow? Ready to thrive? Join Exit Real Estate Specialist today. Call Eddie Rudiger directly at 815-823-5478 or visit www.exitrealestatespecialist.com to learn more. Your future in real estate starts here.
Welcome to the Lions Club. Being a lion means knowing that kindness matters. We believe in changing the world by serving the needs of our local communities. More than 1.4 million lions around the world are responding to local and global challenges with kindness and care. Come volunteer with us. Your Lions journey starts here. The Crest Hill Lions Club invites you to reach out to your local Lions Club to learn about how you can be a part of a community and bringing passionate, kind-hearted people together to serve local needs. They build relationships that lead to opportunities. In short, when lions serve, life improves, and the community grows. Grow with us. The Crest Hill Lions Club would also like to thank our sponsors who help with our yearly events, such as the car show and picnic at St. Joe's Park, and those who attend and support our Easter egg hunts, Shanahan Bingo, and many more events. The Crest Hill Lions Club meets the first and third Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. For more information on being a lion, go to lionsclub.org to start your journey today. That's lionsclub.org.
It's Eddie Rudiger from Exit Real Estate Specialists.
And Get Real with Eddie. I want to bring to your attention the Herbert Trackman Planetarium at Joliet Junior College. My son loves this. They offer free shows on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. It's perfect for stargazers. The show provides excellent astronomical instruction and entertainment for no charge. That's right, it is free on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. The planetarium features a 30-foot diameter dome, a new OmniStar digital planetarium projector. During the shows, you can enjoy sky tours using the projector and PowerPoint presentations covering a wide range of astronomical topics. For more information, please visit jjc.edu/planetarium. And for you educators out there, they are open for field trip bookings. So go to jjc.edu/planetarium.
Thinking about selling your home? Don't just list it, leverage it with Eddie Rudiger, designated managing broker of Exit Real Estate Specialists. Eddie puts powerful marketing strategy behind every sale, featuring professional photography, detailed floor plans, immersive 3D virtual tours, and dynamic video walkthroughs that make your home stand out. With targeting online campaigns, social media exposure, and proven strategies, Eddie attracts serious buyers to get your home sold fast and for top dollar. Plus, you'll always be in the loop with clear, constant communication. Ready to sell with confidence? Call Eddie Rudiger at 815-823-5478. That's 815-823-5478. Or visit yourdwellings.com. Eddie Rudiger, Strategic Marketing. Stand out results. 815-823-5478. Or visit yourdwellings.com today.
You made a smart move to Get Real with Eddie, helping you make your next smart move into your next home.
All right, so this asking price thing is kind of huge.
Oh, it's way huge right now.
We are starting to see appraisers push back. We're starting to see some, I've had to do some price reductions. Mm-hmm. All right. Mm-hmm. We've had some little hiccups in this market. And pricing that house on the money is more important today than it's ever been.
Yes.
This idea that you price the house, well, I got to leave some room to negotiate.
No.
Wow, we did that at the same time. That was a little scary.
Oh God.
Wow. I saw all the meters on the board just peg red for a second. You don't need room to negotiate. If it's priced correctly, they're going to come in at full price or higher still.
Yeah.
All right. Going back to those price reductions that we have seen, we are back to normal market price reductions.
Yes.
Roughly 1 in 5 sellers have to readjust their price.
This is not 2021. This is buyers, interest rates are higher. Buyers don't have as much money to work with. They're pickier. They want what they want. You have to price it accurately.
And they have options now.
Yes.
There are options. Not in every market, but there are options. We just had an appraisal. I can't believe. First off, the buyer's agent was amazing on this, and the lender's been amazing. but we had an appraiser come in, and it was bad. It was just a bad appraisal. Because in that neighborhood, there was no options. There was no, oh, well, you've got 3 other things that you can buy over here for this. There was nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. And they were making some major adjustments, all right?
Yeah.
All of the properties had closing costs for them, but they appraised out. But you're not supposed to take the closing costs off if it's the norm.
Oh, the concessions?
Yes, the concessions.
Gotcha.
You shouldn't take it off the appraisal if it's the norm. Every comp they had a thing. We didn't have it.
Yeah.
But they
got dinged for it.
But we got dinged for it, and we shouldn't have got dinged for it. It was an atrocious appraisal. But that's the thing, is we're getting into having appraisals being rougher, tougher, and harder to get done.
Yeah, there is a lot of pushback, and it started the beginning of the year, really. I've heard more and more people. I've had to deal with that. You've had to deal with it. I hear other agents talk about the problem with appraisal. Yeah.
I have to sell the house twice.
Yep.
I got to sell it to the buyer, and then I got to sell it to the appraiser. And that's the harder sell to make. I have to justify that price to that appraiser so many which ways from Sunday.
Yep. I run 2-3 CMAs a couple of different ways. I am really fastidious about it now because they are pushing back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
just the fact that we get to negotiate, I'm kind of excited about.
So why are some people overpricing their property? Okay. First, not paying attention to current market conditions.
My neighbor last year sold theirs for 2 chickens and an egg.
That was last year. Let's look at the market conditions.
Exactly.
Here is InfoSparks. That last year at this time, so we'll use Plainfield because I still got InfoSparks up. So Plainfield at last year, right now it's 8.5 months, 8.5 showings per listing. Last year at this time, in May of 2024, we were getting 10.3 showings per listing. Mm-hmm. All right?
More buyers.
We had more buyers. Showings, all right? The average showings to contract right now are 15. In May of last year, the average showings to contract were 17. That's 2 more buyers looking at the property. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it's an 11.8% difference.
Well, where were the homes for sale a year ago?
The number of homes for sale?
Now versus a year ago.
All right. So
inventory.
Look at the inventory. So right now, homes for sale at the end of May, all right, was 114 units in Plainfield. That's a 29.5% increase. So the homes for sale at the end of May in 2024, all right, was 88.
Point.
I have 88 options then. I have 114 options now.
Yeah, again, it doesn't sound like a whole heap a lot, but it does make a big difference, especially when inventory's been low. It moves people to other choices. Now you're not the only game in town.
So another reason, pricing it based on what you want to make. It doesn't matter what you want to make.
Nope. Matters what the home is worth.
Yep.
Only matters what the buyer's willing to buy it for.
It does not matter what you want to make out of the property. That's not how this works. And we touched on this, leaving wiggle room for negotiation.
Nope. Not how it works.
Some price too high, thinking it gives them more room to negotiate, but what it really does is turn away a qualified buyer that would make an offer on that quality of property.
Yep.
Because when you price it high, you've got a buyer that's looking for features that come with that price that you don't have.
Exactly. So I can go pay that amount of money and get those features those granite countertops and all that you don't have. Yep. Very important.
The best way to make sure this doesn't happen to you, where you are lowering your price or having to be stuck in the market for a long time, is know the value of homes in your neighborhood. Know the condition of your house versus those homes. Value added by updates you have made. And it's simple, folks. Let me tell you, ChatGPT is amazing. I finished my basement. It cost me $40,000. What percentage of that could I ask for in the increase of my property value? It will tell you.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about, basements give you a 50 to 60% increase all the time, depending on which study.
Yep.
ChatGPT or whatever, Gemini or whatever one you want to use, Gronk. I mean, there's so many of them out there.
Yeah.
On these AIs. You just turn around and type it in. Now, does that mean you can add that number? Okay, so I put $100,000 into my basement, and that means I should get $60,000 back. No. You might not be in a neighborhood that's going to support $60,000 increase. You probably overdeveloped for your area. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
That's why you need to sit down with a professional realtor.
Yep.
And have a conversation. And then you need to look at current buyer demand. What is the buyer demand in your area?
Yeah. What are the comps in the area?
So the simple aspect of this is that showing number, average showings, okay? I want to point this out because no one ever does this. I don't even think I do this, and I should. So let's say I got a listing on Plainfield, and the showings to contract on the median, not on the average. You want to use the median. 11 showings.
Mm-hmm.
You hit that 11th showing, you don't have an offer, you're priced too high.
Yep.
It's that simple. You hit that 11th showing, and there's still no offers on the table, drop your price.
Yes.
Now, if it's taking you 30 days to get to there, you might want to drop your price before the 11th showing. Because if you're priced right, you should have those 11 showings within the first 7 to 10 days.
Yes. If you don't have that many showings and an offer on at least one offer on the table, then yeah, you got to start lowering the price.
Yeah, it's just price is everything.
Yep.
And if you want more for your house, pricing it correctly is the key to getting multiple offers and getting that battle. That's what you want. You want over list price. So you have to price it correctly to start with, not underprice it. Because I know everybody thinks, well, I underpriced my house. So no, you didn't. I mean, you can, I get it. I'm not saying it can't be done. What I'm saying is it needs to be priced correctly, and if it's priced correctly, you're going to get a feeding frenzy and a bidding war because your property is priced exactly where it should be for the condition and the features that it offers. So therefore, buyers are, you know what, it's got so much that we haven't seen. I'm willing to make that go over. I'm willing to go over. It makes a difference.
Mm-hmm. It really does.
All right, well, that wraps it up for Get Real with Eddie. Don't forget, check us out online at getrealwitheddie.com. All of our articles, not all of our articles, a lot of our articles are up there. You've got the YouTube link, you got all the podcast channels. Everywhere you can find me and Nancy, whether you want to just hear our voices or actually see our wonderful faces. It is all there talking about your largest investment 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's getrealwitheddie.com.
Thanks for listening. Eddie Rudiger is the designated managing broker and owner of Exit Real Estate Specialists, located at 2750 Caton Farm Road, Joliet. License number 481014247. For questions, call Eddie at 815-823-5478.